Well, good morning. Monday motivation actually on the day, a rare occurrence for me, but after a hell of a weekend I've got lots of people to mention, lots of things to refer to, you know, try and stay with it if you possibly can. Okay, first things first, England beating France. Magic to be there. Met with some great friends. I'll put some pictures up. I haven't got a picture of Lobby, Mike Lobb, and his beautiful Liz. You know, absolutely fantastic to see them and hook up with them after the match. But to stay with Richard and Chrissy for the 3 days prior to it, Thursday, Friday, and a bit of Saturday, absolutely amazing, fantastic. And then to meet with Richard and Skylar, his daughter, at the rugby, that was great. To hook up with Loughborough mates, oh my God. Haven't seen him for donkeys. Steve Hill, top man, Tony Wilson. And, you know, just go back, and he was telling stories, which he shouldn't have done, about some of my mad behaviours at Loughborough. And then to hook up and bump into, in the same place I was looking for Steve Hill, to bump into the whole Tomlinson family, all four brothers. So honestly, it was just really great to see Pat and John particularly, but Kevin and I've forgotten the last brother's name, I'm really sorry. But to hook up with them, have a couple of beers, meet Pat's daughter, Phoebe, who's working at Twickenham and doing an amazing job. So that was incredible, that was special. And there was someone else, I can't remember. Oh, and of course I went with a top man, Tim Wilson, came with me, who he was very kind. And I was introduced from a guy who's now the chief steward at Wimbledon and the honorary stewards, who introduced me after my first year there, saw me operating and doing my stuff, and introduced me to Tim Wilson, CEO of a fantastic networking company which was looking after lawyers and accountants all over globally. But he took me off to do a job in Miami with about 50 I think lawyers and accountants from all over North America and Canada. And then we went off to Cartagena in Colombia and had a week there. Bonnie was with me the whole time. Not a bad run. And we did a workshop there with about 25-30 odd leaders from the accountancy world and lawyers in Cartagena from all over South America and Central America. My God, what a gig. So I did it home a bit, but anyway, so Tim and I went together. We had a brilliant time and it was such a special result. Why did I want to mention this? Okay, I want to give a couple of links out to people, two really top people I know very well, who worked with me, who in fact did a leadership program with me, and the inimitable and the brilliant Jim Cannon. There were three of us, Jim, Pete Mutton and me. We're instrumental in running a senior leadership development program for a number of years. And two of the brilliant characters who came on it, I've stayed in contact with lots of them, but these are two that have gone on to create their own podcasts, to do amazing work as leaders themselves, but also in developing other leaders and coaching and so on. And one's Sally, and her podcast with Anne is called 1% Happier and Healthier, I think. But I'll put a link up. She's got a great little piece on the wheel of life. And I just thought it's very, very powerful to think about if you can get all the various aspects of your life in reasonably good order and recognise whether there's one dropping off. So whether it's your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your social health, your spiritual health, all those ones I talk about a lot. But in there's also, of course, your resilience in terms of your finances, your relationships, your work and your career. These are the sorts of things on the wheel of life which we introduced all those years ago, and Sally's again introduced to people to say this time of year is a great time to have a little look. Where am I under 10? If you score each of those in 10 on a big wheel, have a look at her podcast. It explains it a lot better than I just have, but the essential thing for me is if you can keep some reasonably good balance in all of those various aspects of your life, recognise when things are dropping off in some areas and pick them up again. Just say no, because if you can have that balance, you can be present in whatever you're doing in any one of those areas with any person, because you haven't got in the back of your mind something that's falling off the perch, something that's crumbling away. And I use that term, crumbling, because a brilliant lady on one of the programs said at the end of this, when we talked about this whole wheel of life concept. She said, I visualize like a Greek temple, and it's got a series of pillars, and it's got the roof, and the roof is my values and me, and it's being held up by a series of key pillars, which are my physical health, my sense of adventure, my relationships, my work, and my career. If I visualize any one of those crumbling, I know I have to do some work on it, because I know if one or two of them start to crumble, the whole thing's going to come on down. Brilliant metaphor. Anyway, so that's Sally and the Wheel of Life. And Anne, have a look at that little podcast, because some things that you just need repeating, just need to come back to regularly in order to keep focus on them and keep ourselves in top nick. And the other guy's doing a lot on being on top nick. Both of them have got their various models. Sally and Anne have got Smash. Damien, who runs a brilliant podcast called Effective Challenge. I think he's on about number 86. So he's been doing it a bit longer. And he is talking, this most recent one is about sleep and resilience and trying to sort of hold on to. And he's got his own little model called Prime. I don't know whether I had any influence in all these acronyms, but it's really, really great little model. And he's talking about actually how important it is to get the right level of sleep and rest and breaks and longer extended breaks. So have a listen to that as well. So there you go. I've done some adverts for two great people who are extending and spending time trying to get other people to be at their best, to be happier, to be more productive, to actually have that joy of life. Hope you have that this week. Take care.